So good news, finally something official is happening with Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, an internal update just went live for the game. Cyberpunk build has been updated for the first time also since October. So in my opinion, this looks like it means that CD Projekt Red went on a break and they are back in the trenches working very hard on update 1.5. Now this internal update also gives us an idea as to when we can officially expect patch 1.5 to release. So we're going to be talking about that one as well. And yes, the quest director for Cyberpunk 2077 gives additional comments on recent leaks for the game. And we're going to be talking about a brand new mod that adds in cut features to the game. I'm going to talk about how this could actually be concerning for update 1.5. I'll explain in just a moment, but let's talk about this right now. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here, hope you're doing good, and let's dive into what's happening with Cyberpunk 2077. But thankfully, yes, something is actually happening with this game. As you can see right here, there was that build that went live. It's an internal build update for the game. And let's dive into some more details as to when this happened. So it happened on January 14th here. And you know, the previous internal build update did happen on October 28th, 2021. A lot of you are wondering, well, what does this actually mean for the game itself? More specifically for patch 1.5. Well, we could look at the history of patches and get an idea as to how internal updates actually influence official releases of patches. So check this out right here. Of course, the latest patch was update 1.31, but the significant one was really update 1.3, of course. A lot of us know that. But check this out right here. So if we zoom in here, we can see that the major patch did release on August 18th, 2021. God, it's been absolutely forever since we've seen an official big patch for this game. And of course, we did get 1.31 in September, but you could see all the internal updates that were going on, consistent back-end updates to the game. And this goes clear back to July 7th, by the way. That's when it truly began. And they consistently updated the game up until they officially released the patch 1.3. So if we look at the current trend right now, we have a start of the patch 1.5 update, I guess you would say. We have begun internal updates as of January 14th. I expect them to do the same thing they've done previously and to consistently update the game in the back end until we finally get update 1.5, which I am going to be assuming is going to be happening within the next month, more realistically a month and a half or something like that. So we're looking at February to March as the release date, in my opinion, for update 1.5, based on the evidence that we are seeing here with the eternal update. So I think that's what's going to be happening here for Cyberpunk 2077. Now, also, our quest director had some interesting things to say about those recent leaks and rumors about Cyberpunk 2077. Some amazing claims about crazy content returning to Cyberpunk. We're talking about garages, apartments, full-blown customization for your character, quests, weapons, all sorts of rumors. And let's see what this news article has to say right here about that and what Paolo Sasco, quest director of Cyberpunk, had to say. Now, it says this: that has left players resorting to asking devs personally about the patch, including Paolo Sasco, the recently promoted quest director of Cyberpunk, who was asked about a recent alleged leak of patch 1.5 content, including things like garage, barbershop, new gigs, new game plus, by the way, which is something I would love to see, new weapons and other additions. Now, let's see his response right now. He goes on to say the following: Cyberpunk Samurai Edition, I hope you know that this is an absolute rumor and nothing is confirmed from that rumor, Sasco said on a recent stream. I just don't want you guys to be like disappointed and expect something else, you know, because you've been hearing sometimes made up things. Well, in my opinion, a lot of the things in the recent leaks are pretty much standard simple features. So I would hope they would be able to pull this sort of thing off with patch 1.5 or, you know, the new gen update as well. But if we go back in time, of course, and we see when they've been doing their eternal updates, to me, it looks like they've honestly been taking an actual break here and reassessing the situation with Cyberpunk, and perhaps also giving them their devs, in my opinion, what would be needed breathing room considering the horrible launch that was Cyberpunk 2077. And I don't think they want to worry about losing more devs because of crunch. They've already been through crunch for years before the game releases. Then they have this horrible launch, which hurts morale at the studio, and then more crunch to try to hurry and get things fixed. So I think they got things to a certain level, got the game back on the PSN store, and then they were like, whew, we need to give our dev team a little bit of a breathing room during the holidays, and then they can come back and really have, refreshed minds and be able to work on the game properly. So I think that's what's going on. That's my assessment of everything, at least. Now, we got to talk about a feature that's been added back into the game thanks to the power of modders. Check it out right here. It says Cyberpunk mod adds car customization that was cut from the game. A new Cyberpunk mod adds car customization that allows players to pick vehicle variants, a feature that was originally cut from the game. And this is really cool, but it's also kind of concerning because I really hope that CD Projekt Red does not release this patch, this brand new patch 1.5, and claim that this is some sort of new feature that they've added to the game. No, this is already apparently in the game, and you can see some screenshots here from the modder where he has added back in these vehicle variants, which you can select. And apparently this is currently in the game. You just can't access it right now, which is really interesting. Check out the description of the mod here. It says the following: the vehicles the player can buy cannot be customized by default. However, almost all the vehicles in the game have alternate appearances. This little mod allows you to swap around those alternate appearances on your player-owned vehicle. So again, my concern and my worry going forward is that CD Projekt Red is going to be like, yeah, we've been working on some vehicle skins. Check it out right here as free DLC, when it's truly been already done. It's in the game, essentially. So we'll see if that's actually something that's going to be happening here in the future. But my God, modders are on it. They are absolutely beating CD Projekt Red to everything, essentially. So if you're on PC, check out that mod. I'll throw in the link in the description below. It's really cool to see that modders are really getting to, addressing some of the cut content and stuff and adding it back to the game. Yeah, hire the modders. That's all I have to say. But anyway, let's dive into your top comments on my most recent Cyberpunk 2077 video. So remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. Let's see what you guys had to say about this one right here. It says, new update about CD Projekt Red. It's bad news, but can they survive it? All new updates. So yeah, essentially the bad news in quotations here is that one of the veteran leaders at CD Projekt Red has left the studio, and he has been at the studio for 15 years. So it's kind of commonplace for someone to be like, okay, I'm done. I need to do something new. I need to move on and, move on from the job. It happens all the time in the gaming industry. The concern here is that have they put the game, or the studio, in shape enough to have veterans leave like this? Because my God, this guy has worked with the studio forever. Then again, on the flip side of things, you have to remember the good news is that, he might be completely worn out. There could be a lot of burnout. 15 years is a long time, and having fresh talent at the studio could actually be good news. But let's see what you guys had to say about this one. We have Tuco, who says this: for me, I'm not concerned with all the veterans leaving because of the modders that CD Projekt Red has brought in. I'm more concerned with the top management, who are the ones making the big decisions. Management is still in control and can still make stupid decisions like they did on the release and All the Lies in 2021. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the second half of 2022, when I believe we'll see more tangible changes of any, if any, comes this year. Yeah, exactly. 2022, especially later in 2022, beyond summer, is going to be where we are going to be watching Cyberpunk and see what it does. Now, Cyberflame says the following: a shame the Cyberpunk universe has such potential to bring to life. Man, I love Cyberpunk. I would love to see this game back in shape. I want more Cyberpunk games, by the way. And honestly, I can't wait to see what they do with the Cyberpunk Netflix series as well. Now we have Constantina, who says this: in my opinion, if CD Projekt Red gave modding support wide open all access as opposed to the current restricted support, the mod community could serve as an audition pool, plus more open access to modders equates to free, fast fixes to everyone's Christmas list issues, and things some never even knew they needed. I love this idea. You know, they could be doing some sort of test server so people can get on there and test out the game and see what features they want or not, or early access to what modders are working on to keep people engaged and keep feedback going and alive and well within the community. That's things they could potentially do, of course. I did see Anthem do something similar. They did have a private test server that people could get in on and try out things, and honestly, it didn't work out. So with modders, though, they have so many good ideas, and I think it would work out to the benefit of the entire community and, of course, CD Projekt Red. But it seems like, you know, they're interested in hiring modders. In fact, a lot of the open world designer positions they have even now on the job listings are asking for modding experience. So, hey, they're getting serious about looking at the modding community as you word it, as like a pool of talent to draw from and hire new talent to the studio. So, hey, we'll see what happens. I really want to know more updates from CD Projekt Red as to how exactly they are using their current existing modding talent to help the game. I just want to know how that works. I'm very curious. But anyway, there it is. Thank you all so much. You know what? Actually, let's get into some more comments here. We have Yamashinzo, who says, as long as they find someone who is qualified and willing to fix the damages the company has faced, but at this point, anything can happen. The concern is understandable. Look at what happened to companies such as Rockstar or Activision. Exactly. They have to, you know, looking at new talent is going to be challenging because they do have to find people that are absolutely qualified to fill in these veteran shoes that have been working at the studio for past a decade. That's a long, long time. Then we have Mix Darwin, who says, I want this game to make a comeback, but I just don't have a lot of faith in them pulling it off. Tired of hearing excuse articles for this game's state. Yeah, let's get to the actual patch releases. So it looks like something is happening right now with that. We have an internal update that is going on for Cyberpunk. Let's see if those internal updates keep rolling out. I'm going to keep you guys updated about that, actually. If we see another internal update for the game in the next few days, in the next week, and so on, then we do know we are fast approaching patch 1.5. So yeah, keep your, hype levels guarded. That's all I have to say. We'll see what happens. But thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.